Hi guys, my name is Dr. Rocke and today we will do a huge box office artist drawing. That's the biggest piece of paper I got. And we will fill it with Marvel Universe villains. So let's start right away. I really like the box office artist. He's one of my favorite YouTubers and I really like his content. I love to watch him draw and it's similar to my channel, so I thought let's give it another go. I already made a video once, it's called How to Draw Like the Box Office Artist. Feel free to check it out. I will leave the link down in the description. But today I want to do a really big drawing in the sketchy style of the box office artist, so I hope I will manage to come up with a nice drawing. I will start off with Thanos and he will be surrounded with all the Marvel super villains I can think of. So enjoy the show guys, see you later. So Thanos, I think all of you guys will know Thanos. He's my favorite villain in the MCU. He is from Titan and he possesses immense powers, like superhuman strength, endurance and reflexes. And in the comics he can even project energy blasts from his hands and mind. As you might have seen in the Avengers movies, Thanos once gained the Infinity Gauntlet, an item of enormous power. Its 6 Infinity Gems have control over time, space, reality and the souls of others, unlimited strength and psychic powers. He is easily one of the greatest villains from Marvel. He wiped out the civilizations of whole planets. But still you can sympathize with him, because in his mind that's just necessary for the greater good. Because when there are less people, there's more for every individual. And since there are whole planets actually starving, he's kinda having a point. But those are just two drastic actions. I'm sorry Thanos, that's not the way it goes. And here you can see me finishing off with the details already, which means number 1 is soon to be finished. Okay guys, I'm done with our first villain. And I have to say it's really fun to draw in this style because it's really going fast. And all those sketchy lines, they bring so much life into the drawing. It's very nice to see. But before we'll start with the next villain, it's time for a drink. Next villain. The next one is Emil Blonsky, the Abomination. A gamma radiation spawned monster, even more ferocious than the Hulk. Blonsky was originally a spy before using Bruce Banner's equipment to blast himself with gamma rays, mutating into the fearsome creature that Banner's girlfriend Betty called Abomination. The Abomination nearly killed the Hulk in their first battle and has worked alone and with the Hulk's enemies ever since. He has even returned from the dead to attack the Hulk. The Abomination has superhuman strength, speed, stamina and durability, and can survive both in outer space and in the ocean depths. He can also slip into an inert state to survive the coldness of space or burial beneath the earth. A wild thing, a monster, an abomination. As you can see, I'm done with the Abomination, so let's keep right in the process and do some other villains. The next one is Radioactive Man, but no, not the one from The Simpsons. And that's his story. When the Chinese government decided to create their own superheroes, Dr. Chan Lu exposed himself to nuclear radiation to gain superpowers. He became the Radioactive Man and was sent to the USA to prove Chinese superiority by beating American heroes. There, he joined the Masters of Evil and fought the Avengers several times. It is said that Chen has recently returned to China to be part of the People's Defense Force, China's own superhero team. And I have to say, he's even cooler than the Radioactive Man from The Simpsons. The next one is called Graviton, from the word gravity. Due to an accident, researcher Franklin Hall got control over gravity, which allows him to levitate objects, fly, pin opponents to the ground, and generate force fields and shockwaves. And that's pretty cool if you ask me. Would have been cool to see him in one of the Avengers movies. But there are so many villains in the Marvel Universe, they can't just use all of them in the films. As you can see, the drawing is already starting to look decent. So let's go on with the next villain. And this is a big one. And I don't even mean just in the drawing, cause he will be the villain in the next Marvel movie, Black Widow. I'm very excited about that movie, especially since it was so long ago since the last one came out. The Taskmaster can remember any move he sees and has used his power to become a sought-after mercenary. So he's able to mimic all the fighting styles from his opponents. Which means it's going to be tough for the Black Widow. He's also supposed to have a photographic memory and can copy a person's voice. And, similar to Captain America, he has a metal shield, which also doubles as a throwing weapon. So better bring it on, Black Widow, cause this one will not be easy to defeat. And here we have our first girl in this drawing. And she's called Moonstone. Dr. Carla Sofin is a psychologist who took a Kree lifestone from the original Moonstone, Lloyd Block, to gain superpowers. She used her powers for her own ends and soon became a notorious supervillain, fighting alongside the Masters of Evil before joining the Thunderbolts. Using the power of the Moonstone, Carla is able to fly, become intangible, and emit blinding bursts of light. Additional Moonstones would increase and diversify her powers. Titanium Man. Russian scientist Boris Bulsky had the first Titanium Man armor built so he could defeat Iron Man and prove himself to his communist masters. However, Boris failed in this and further attempts and was abandoned by his countrymen. He later regained favor and became part of the Soviet super soldiers who tried to arrest Magneto, coming into conflict with the Avengers and X-Men when they did so. A new Titanium Man has now appeared, but his identity remains unknown. The next one is a creepy one, Red Skull. And yes, that's the one you have seen in the Captain America movies. The Red Skull was Adolf Hitler's right-hand man and Captain America's arch-enemy. He was accidentally put in suspended animation near the end of World War II, but was later revived and continued his plans for world domination. At one point, the Red Skull infiltrated the US government, unleashing a plague so he could take over the country. Fortunately, the Avengers stopped him. The Red Skull is a highly trained fighter and marksman, proficient with most firearms. His most powerful advantage over his enemies, however, is his skill as a military and political strategist. And his real name, by the way, is Johann Schmidt, a very typical German name. Due to an accident with toxic powder, his face turned into the Red Skull as we know him. And boy am I glad this happened to him, because he looks badass. This is Hardball. Roger Brookeridge made a deal with the supervillain Power Broker to receive superpowers in return for a share of the proceeds from his crimes. However, he was hailed as a hero when he appeared to save a girl while attempting to rob a truck. Hardball has the ability to create and throw different types of energy balls. Verdank was the Skrull Queen who ordered the invasion of Earth, believing an ancient prophecy that the planet was destined to be the new Skrull homeworld. She has superhuman strength, and like all Skrulls, she could shapeshift into any person or animal she wished. Crossbones is trained in various martial arts and fighting styles. He is also a pilot and an expert with numerous weapons. He's an ally of Red Skull, and his real name is Brock Rumlow. This one is called Super-Adaptoid, with the powers and appearance of up to 8 superpowered beings at a time, and turns green when doing so. He can also alter his size and shape. In the shape I drew him, he looks like a mixture of Iron Man and Doctor Strange. Avengers, the Age of Ultron. Ultron is a powerful robot who constantly upgrades himself. Originally created by Hank Pym, actually, he went rogue, obsessed with conquering and annihilating humanity. He has tried to kill his creator countless times, at one point creating the Vision in an attempt to do so. Ultron's abilities vary with each upgrade, but include superhuman strength and durability and flight. His many weapons include a ray that mesmerizes victims, allowing him to control their minds. And this cool guy is called Tiger Shark. His body has been surgically and genetically altered to give him the shark-like abilities. He has superhuman strength and endurance and is able to swim up to 60 miles per hour. His strength is at greatest when in contact with water. And the last of our villains is Pagan. Pagan and his brother, Lord Templar, died as children, but were resurrected by their older brother. Possessing superhuman strength and durability, Pagan was able to withstand superhuman punches and magical hexes. The angrier he became, the greater his strength. And that sums up my Marvel villain collection. Some last details and a bit of a background and we are done. Not to forget some rim lights and my signature. Okay guys, I did it. I hope you enjoyed the ride and I hope you learned something about all those Marvel villains. And now I will give you a proper reveal, but first, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more stuff like this. So see you in the next video guys. Bye!